But all this is bigger than Diddy. It's bigger than Diddy, bruh. Cause you know who else they was doing it? His behavior over the years has changed. And the behavior that he shows now and that he we were at a birthday party that I think either Matt Damien was giving for Ben Affleck. It was just a little gathering. It was at the Four Seasons. Will Smith and his sister and her husband, we were all sitting on this side of the room. Matt Damien, Ben Affleck, Jennifer Lopez, Puff, Will Smith, and Jada, and it was sitting on the other side of the room. So I know Puff so well that he stood up. When he stood up, he walked and did his arm some kind of way, like, and then he went like this, like that. I went over towards him. I know to go over there towards him. So I go over towards him, and he said to me, he said, yo, I think Will and Jada is trying to scoop up Jennifer. I want you to stay close, because I'm going to snuff him. I said to myself, Will Smith gonna beat the shit out you. Now, Puff could scrap now, but I don't think he could beat Will Smith. You know what I'm saying? But he could scrap. You know what I'm saying? So then he said that shit. So I didn't go back over there where Will Smith's sister and her husband was. I stayed about, if he snuffed Will, I could move slow enough that Will could probably get 2 or 3 punches back in. Yeah, but that shit was funny. He thought that Jada and Will was coming on too strong to Jennifer, making advances.
You won't believe what Diddy's bodyguard just spilled about Will Smith. The tea is piping hot, and it's about to change everything you thought you knew about the Fresh Prince. The streets are saying Will Smith was spotted at Diddy's infamous white parties, and it's not what you think now. We all know is a wholesome family man, right? But this bombshell could shake up his squeaky clean image faster than you can say welcome to Miami. And Jada, let's just say she might be doing more than just raising an eyebrow at this news. Why is this tea so scalding? Because these white parties ain't your average celebrity shindig. We're talking exclusive, we're talking wild, and we're talking about things that would make even the bad boys blush. So what was Will really doing there, and why is Diddy bodyguard risking it all to expose his now? Stick around, cause we're about to dive deep into this juicy scandal.
You told me before that you was at a party before that they attended, and you said the party was weird. Tell me about that.
Okay, this is boxer. His name's Twaron. He's from our neighborhood. He was married to Tanisha Arnold. So the broad played Pam on Martin Lawrence. We went to the party with her. I mean, it was matter of fact, it was a set it off party. Jada Pickett, Vivica Fox, all of them was there. You know what I'm saying? It was just seemed like Puff and Tupac was like a couple, seemed like to me. It was just a lot of weird shit going on, you know what I'm saying? The vibes ain't there. I guess that's what Tupac was talking about, the Illuminati and shit. It's like Vivica Fox was with this big gay man. He was 6'9". They called him, his name 6'9". He had the red hair with a big old booty and shit. Nobody was gaying him over. What the fuck is going on here? It's just a lot of weird shit, dude. You know what I'm saying? That shit, it ain't right. You know what I'm saying? I guess that's what Tupac, I guess he wanted to get up out of the Illuminati or something. But I seen it there. Matter of fact, MC Lyte pulled off with Tanisha Arnold. You know what I'm saying? In her brand new 560, black one. Yeah, that shit weird, dude. Yeah, that's some weird ass shit going on, you know? Yeah.
And what was Tupac doing at the party, yo?
Him and Puff was there. together. They was there, you know what I'm saying? That's why I don't know how they fucking fell out or nothing like that. They was road dogs, you know what I'm saying? They even got pictures of him. He got on that blue sweater with the turtleneck, him and him hugged up like this with the black hat. Have you ever seen that picture?
Nah, I don't recall, but I'm pretty sure I came across it.
Yeah. That picture there, they was at that party that day. Yeah, it's just like a bunch of weird shit. That whole fucking, yeah, that shit weird, dude. Yeah, bunch of, it ain't right. You know what I'm saying? I'm not no gay basher or nothing. I mean, none of that shit, but that shit ain't right. You know what I'm saying? That whole party was weirdoed out. Yeah, and it was Jada Pinkett, but.
Let's talk about these white parties for a sec. You ever wonder why they're invite only and phones are banned at the door? It's not just about the dress code. There's a reason why what happens at Diddy stays at Diddy's. Until now, picture this: a mansion decked out in nothing but white from the drapes to the dance floor. The who's who of Hollywood strutting and dressed to the nines in their finest white thread. We're talking a lister's only, honey. If you ain't on the list, you ain't getting past those pearly gates. Now these ain't your grandma's garden parties. Diddy's known for throwing the most exclusive bashes in town, and his white parties, they're the cream of the crop. Celebs be lining up to score an invite like it's the last lifeboat on the Titanic. But here's the tea: once you're inside, all bets are off. No phones allowed, which means what happens at Diddy stays at Diddy. And trust me, a lot happens. We're talking wild shenanigans that would make even the most seasoned paparazzi blush.
You saying the whole party was weird. What did you see at the party that made it weird? I mean, I'm confused.
I guess it was the Illuminati. It's just weird. I know I wouldn't want to be part of no shit like that. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm from the old school, dude, and that shit wasn't really tolerated with my generation. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, hate crime, yes, but it's more tolerated these days and nothing like that. It's more, you know what I'm saying, more open now, you know what I'm saying? But back then it was kind of fishy, you know what I'm saying? Still kind of fishy, you know, but it's more, you know, out there now.
The incident y'all had with Warren G and Kid Frost, tell me about that, my man.
Okay, Kid Frost had gave a party at the House of Blues. One of our big homeboys wanted to go with us, you know what I'm saying? So he went with us and he said, "Ooh, you young niggas have fun." So one of Kid Frost's homies still on my big homie. But he didn't know that he was around, it was maybe about 20 of us. So the dude that socked my big homie, we beat the dog shit out of him. So my big homie, he came too. He like, "That's the motherfucker?" We like, "Yeah." And there was 2 security guards had him. Had the dude that we beat up from Kid Frost's entourage. So my big homie knocked that motherfucker out while the yellow jacket, you know, the yellow jackets with the event security, they had the dude. So my homie still knocked him out. Boom! So the dude with the yellow jacket was talking shit. "Man, what the fuck is wrong with?" My homeboy knocked out him too. Bam! Like, woo! So the other one like, "Man, he got back." Little Jamaican dude come up talking shit. "Man, you going crazy?" My homeboy socked him too. So we went down to get our car from valet. And it was the dude, "It's LBC." And he like, "What the fuck is that?" And he's like, "It's Long Beach City Crip." So my homeboy knew this dude was an imposter. If you from Long Beach, you gonna say Rolling 20s or Insane. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You're a real block boy. You know what I'm saying? 19th Street. You gonna say something. A real Crip. So this nigga say he's from Long Beach City Crip. My homeboy like, "Wait a minute." And knocked him out too. So Warren G and them was down there, him and Cedric Wallace waiting on their cars. And they seen my homeboy get busy like that. So they had left before us, went up to Fat Burgers. So we came, got in our shit. They finally brought our cars to valet. We went up to Fat Burgers. And Warren G and Cedric Wallace was up there already, you know, eating their shit and shit. So we came in there. The big homie like, "Hey, motherfucker." He pointed at Cedric Wallace, like, "Man, you been dumping us for years, mother. I'm losing all my motherfucking money betting on your motherfucking ass." So Warren G was right there. He like, My homie like, man, that's a nice ass watch. So he like, man, let me try that on. You know what I'm saying? So by then, my homeboy, somebody got my homeboy attention, and he turned his head. Shit, Cedric Sabalas and what's his name was in the, he was in the Ragtop 500 Benz. This motherfucker like jumped off. I mean, he drove up off the motherfucker. He didn't even pay attention to the curve. He jumped off of the curve instead of using the, the driveway. That shit was funny as fuck. My homeboy like, damn, he almost bust his whole fucking engine block. Yeah, that shit was funny as a motherfucker. Like, damn. Yeah.
Remember when Ashton Kutcher spilled some tea about these parties? He said, and I quote, "The most important part of the party is the arrival. Why? Because that's the only part. The public sees what goes down after those doors close. That's when the real party starts." Now, we've heard whispers about some crazy stuff like, did you know Kim Kardashian once showed up in a see-through dress that left little to the imagination? And let's not forget about the time Jay-Z made a grand entrance that had everyone's jaws on the floor. But it ain't all glitz and glamour. Word on the street is that these parties can get pretty wild. We're talking about things that would make even the bad boys blush. Some folks say there's rooms you don't want to walk into without knocking first, if you catch my drift. And now we're hearing that our boy Will Smith was right in the thick of it, the Fresh Prince himself, allegedly partying it up at these exclusive shindigs. Can you believe it? Mr. Parents just don't understand. Rubbing elbows with the wildest crowd in Hollywood. But here's what's got everyone shook. What exactly was Will doing there? Was he just there to dance and mingle? Or was he getting into something a little more spicy? And more importantly, does Jada know?
It's a guy, right? It's a guy named Uncle Ron, right? I don't know if you've seen this video. You should have seen the video. It went viral. It was a real big video, man. It went viral, man. And his name is Uncle Ron. And he claims that he used to work for Puffy. He was one of Puffy bodyguards. And he said that Puffy offered him $30,000 to kill Biggie for his publishing. How you feel about that, yo? And do you know this guy?
Well, first and foremost, you got to realize this. Anybody can come on this internet and say anything, right? And dude is getting a whole lot of attention because people are even calling me, asking me about him, and I don't know him from a can of paint. He even mentioned my name, saying that I know what I know. I don't know what he knows, but I do know this, that it's only 3 people that had contracts with Puff and Bad Boy. Me, Wolf, and Paul Offord. If he didn't come through Paul Offord security, Green Gate security, he didn't have a contract with Puff. Because anybody who worked for Puff, other than me and Wolf, came through Green Gate security. That was Paul's security thing, especially at the time that he was saying that he worked for Puff, or Puff offered him $30,000. Now, anybody knows this, that Bad Boy took 50% of all this artist publishing, right? 50% of all the artist publishing straight out the rip. Then Puff gave Big $200,000 for the rest of his publishing. So what publishing did he was trying to get and keep from Puff? You understand? What publishing was Puff was trying to get when he already had it? He had already paid for it. What part of the catalog was he talking about? I don't understand that. And then he said that Puff offered him $30,000. I can't say he lied, but I can say that he wasn't a part of Bad Boy security that I know. I knew everybody who worked during them days. You understand? And I don't know dude from a can of paint.
So whoever this Uncle Ron dude is, he's a liar then. He's a fraud.
Is he a fraud? Bruh, he's what he is. He wasn't part of our security that I knew of. Not at that time. He never been on no trips with us. He never been at no parties, no nothing. So is he a fraud? The internet will have the real niggas looking fake and the fake niggas looking real. Put it together. How could he want Biggie publishing when he already had it? That's where he fucked up at. That's where he fucked up at. How you want something that you already own?
Yeah, you right. You right.
I know I am. That's where he fucked up at. Bad Boy owns 50% of the shit already as an artist. They got 100%. Bad Boy takes 50% right off the top. Then he gave Big $200,000 for the rest of his publishing. So now the other stuff goes to the producers or whatever of the music. So what is he talking about?
You thought the party was over, it's just getting started. Diddy's bodyguard is singing like a canary, and Will Smith, the main act. But here's the real gag. Why now? What's got this bodyguard ready to risk it all? And what's he saying about our Fresh Prince? Now let's talk about this bodyguard. We're not just dealing with some random security guy who saw Will Smith from across the room. This is someone who was right in the thick of it, keeping Diddy and his guests safe while seeing everything that went down. And when I say everything, I mean everything. This bodyguard, let's call him Mr. X, was like a fly on the wall at these white parties. He saw who came in, who left, and what happened in between. And chill, he's spilling tea if it's been brewing for years. But why should we believe him? Well, think about it. This guy was trusted by Diddy himself to keep things under wraps. He knows where all the bodies are buried, so to speak. Now Mr. X is saying Will Smith wasn't just a casual guest at these parties. Oh no, honey. According to him, Will was a regular showing up to more white parties that you can count on both hands. And get this, he's claiming what wasn't just there to network and sip on some fancy champagne. The bodyguard says what was getting down and dirty, doing things that would make JIS Red Table Talk look like a Sunday school picnic. We're talking about behavior that's so far from the Fresh Prince image. You think we were talking about a whole different person. Mr. X is painting a picture of Will that's more bad boys than Men in Black, if you know what I mean.
What was he dealing with?
Shit, I don't know.
What the fuck was he dealing with?
Something made him slap his brother, man.
No, something didn't make him snap anything. He laughed at that badass joke that Chris said like every fucking body else. And then Jada looked at him and it was like the Manchurian Candidate.
Not the Manchurian. Not the Manchurian. God damn it.
That's what the fuck happened.
I thought there's a legion of women who said, I'm glad for Will fighting for his woman.
Yeah, because they still want to believe that that sham of a fucking marriage is real.
Oh. Well, there you go.
He ain't never gonna be Tupac, and she proved it when she fucked August Alsina.
Ooh, man. Yeah.
They're both bisexual. They do weird things in their house, and young men have left their house fucking screaming to get away from them in their mentorship. Meek Mills. Bashir Gray. Left that house fucking screaming. August the only one that stayed, and I guess he was really sick. He needed help.
Hey, man.
And that was they kid's friend.
Yeah.
Who the fuck can believe that shit is real by any means with all of that?
Makes it tough to believe.
With all of that.
Yeah.
When they was busy fucking partying with the Martins, then they switched over from the Martins to Mark Anthony and Jennifer Lopez, and then the fucking kiss happened on Hawthorne. Her show got canceled. Mark and Jennifer broke up. All of this shit was going on. And guess what? Don't nobody want to admit that they a victim. So they pretend to be friends.
Yeah.
Will Smith ain't slapped that nigga over love. He slapped that nigga because that bitch told him to.
What her eyes?
Or maybe, because she's looking a little hocus pocus these days too. Is it alopecia? Or was it like, entrance into the club? I don't know. But shit don't look right. You fucking see Tiger Woods and the next thing you know, he damn near die in a fucking car accident. I don't fucking know. I know she gangster as fuck. I know she from Baltimore. And I know there's no shame in that region. I know that for a fact. So, the movie Emancipation, how the fuck you gonna play in a movie called Emancipation and you can't emancipate yourself?
Ooh. Bars.
Cause you trapped in a hole. My nigga, you trapped in a hole. This bitch clowning you day after day after day after day. And once again, I hate saying these things because their children are dope. But Jaden's kind of MIA. And considering that he emancipated from their household at 16 and refused to come back, even to do family interviews. You know?
Yeah.
Willow's just kind of, she's dope. Too much shit happened in that fucking house. Too much shit happened in that fucking house. And meanwhile, I go to jail for defending my child and these niggas don't even get a CPS fucking visit for the kind of shit they kids see. You know?
There you go.
So yeah, I'll watch the movie when, I'll watch Emancipation when he emancipates himself from the hell that he lives in, that he tries to call marriage with that woman who still wished Tupac was alive.
But here's what's got everyone scratching their heads. Why is this bodyguard coming forward? Now what's he got to gain from exposing Will Smith? After all these years, some folks are saying he's just looking for his 15 minutes of fame, trying to cash in on Will's name. Others think he might have a grudge against Diddy or Will and is out for revenge, or maybe, just maybe, he's had a crisis of conscience. You know how they say the truth will set you free? Well, this bodyguard might be feeling the weight of all these secrets and decided it was time to unload. But let's be real, spilling this kind of tea doesn't come without consequences. He's risking his reputation, his career, and possibly even legal action. That a lot to put on the line for a story about Will Smith partying. So what's the real motivation here? Is it money, fame, revenge? Or is it something deeper? Could there be more to this story that we haven't heard yet? Because let's face it, if you're going to risk it all to expose someone like Will Smith, you better have some solid proof to back it up. And speaking of proof, what kind of evidence does this bodyguard have? Are we talking about photos, videos, or just his word against Will's? Because in Hollywood, rumors fly faster than a jet, but without receipts, they crash and burn just as quick.
But enjoy the film. Buy lots of popcorn. I ain't supporting shit he fucking do. He's a bad representation for black men. He is literally the epitome of a ballless man. I'm sick and tired of people making our black men look weak. I'm sick and tired of that shit because I don't know no nigga that would put up with the shit that bitch done put him through. Now you could justify staying because you ain't want to cut up the money because she would have got the child support and the alimony, but the kids is grown. So if you staying now, it's either because you being blackmailed to stay or you too lazy to go. He housebroken. That don't fit right for a Philly nigga. But he did grow up in Overbrook though. He didn't technically grow up in West Philly. That was Jazzy Jeff's life he was writing about. He lived over there, not far from where Kobe Bryant grew up. That's the other side of City Avenue. He came up Overbrook, so they had big houses and he wasn't at the playground get beat up. That was Jazzy Jeff. He lived in the more suburb side off of City Avenue. He went to Overbrook, he went to the hood and then came home. I took my husband to where he used to go get his cheesesteaks at Larry's, which was right there by the train station around the corner from the Nice houses. He's been playing roles for a long time. But I'm sick and tired of seeing these so-called couples destroying young people. And look at August Alsina, he's so fucked off. I don't think that boy is his boyfriend. I think it's his bodyguard, because his first show back in Miami, he gets beat up by Tory Lanez and his motherfucking bodyguard. And the nigga just got out the hospital. These is little niggas. These is little niggas. It's almost like Will Smith called up Tory Lanez. Fuck that nigga up for me. You know what I'm saying? Your first show back and you got to go back to the hospital. All because you got taken advantage of by that bitch. Because they said it all started with Tory Lanez joking with him about the whole entanglement. That shit wasn't no entanglement, bitch. You fucked the kid and cheated on your husband. Like, let's stop dressing this shit up and making it seem like it's anything. If Jada did any of the fucking shit to Will, would your wife, would y'all women, would you stand for that?
No.
Listen to me, he needs my help. like, are you fucking kidding me? I wanted to help him. He was so sick and he needed my help, and you just figured you was gonna ride his dick until he got better, huh? Like, really? If I was a 16-year-old kid and I had the opportunity to emancipate myself, I wouldn't stick around to watch my mom fuck my friends. I wish the fuck my mom would have.
Y'all thought you knew Will Smith. Well, hold on to your hats, because this tea is about to spill all over that squeaky clean image the streets are saying this bodyguard's got more than just words. He's got the goods on Will Smith's secret party life. What kind of skeletons could be dancing out of Will's closet now? We've all seen Will as the charming, family-friendly guy in his movies and interviews, but Chella, this bodyguard's painting a whole different picture. We're talking about a Will Smith that's more bad boys than Fresh Prince. If you catch my drift, according to Mr. X, our boy wasn't just showing up to these white parties for the fancy finger foods and small talk. Nah, he was allegedly getting down and dirty in ways that would make even Jada's red table talk look tame. We're talking about behavior that's so far from the Will Smith we thought we knew. It's like he's got an evil twin or something. But here's the really, what was Will doing at these parties that he didn't want the world to know? Was he just there to let loose and dance the night away? Or was there something more spicy going on? The bodyguards hinting at some wild stuff, y'all. We're talking about activities that would make even the most seasoned Hollywood party animals raise an eyebrow. Now, I know what you're thinking, Will Smith or Will Smith, the same guy who are about how parents just don't understand. But girl, that's exactly what's got everyone shook. If these allegations are true, it could change everything we thought we knew about the Fresh Prince.
Yeah, man. Anybody who in law enforcement or people know the law, when Homeland Security ran up into his house, people will tell you, or people knew that it was just a matter of time that they was going to indict him and bring him in to see the judge, bro. It was just a matter of time. I just figured out with the grand jury and their different sessions and stuff like that, and then what one of the witnesses told me, I just figured it out that it was going to be around September that they were going to bring him in, bro. People might not understand. It's difficult when you see a brother that has so much promise become an icon as far as in the music business and stuff that he did, to turn around and just tear his whole life down. But it's all because of his mentors and the people that trained him and taught him the music business. You know, it's all about the people who trained and taught him the music business, because Puff wasn't, he wasn't born a monster. You know what I'm saying? He was made into a monster, brother. Do you understand what I'm saying? He was made into a monster from the stuff that happened to him, the things that he had to do. You understand? The things that he had to do to become who he is. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's like this, brother. You never like something so much that you can't do without, and you never be willing to do anything to get where you want to be at. You gotta have principles, you gotta have morals, you gotta keep with that stuff. And in that music business, a lot of that stuff get thrown out the window. You understand? And that's what happened to him. He started doing the things to other people that was done to him. To keep it frank, he was doing the things to other people that was done to him. And it is what it is. You gotta know better. And if you know better, you will do better. When he was in New York City, he was like that gecko from the Geico commercial. Then he turned and started going, when he lived in Cali and Miami, he turned into Godzilla. I would see him talk about how he using drugs. He was never like that. Smoking cigarettes, smoking weed and everything like that. He turned into something that you could consider a monster, bro. Then he started doing things to people, you understand, that he learned. That's a learned behavior, bro. Now, I'm not saying that he may have been doing a couple of things here and there with women, stuff like that in New York, but the things that they're talking about that he was doing, bringing in prostitutes to have sex with his girl and all that stuff like that, that was some crazy stuff to me, man. So I'm just looking at this whole thing, man, and you had asked me, and we don't have these conversations like most people do. We gonna go back and you gonna tell me what, we gonna talk about this. You said, I'ma ask you how you feel, bro. I don't want no man to ever go to jail and be leaving their kids behind, be leaving their family behind. You understand? But some dudes belong in jail based on what they do and how they do it. We know that to be true. And it's just this situation, man, when they get down to all the facts and all what happened, he may belong in jail, bro. And that's not my doing. That's not Cassie doing. That's his doing and his learned behavior from the people that mentored him. You gotta realize, man, he learned from Andre Harrell. He learned from Russell Simmons. He learned from Clyde Davis. You understand? When those people are telling you that they were heavy into the drugs, they was heavy into beating women and doing things at that age, at that crazy stage, that's gonna make him think that he could get away with the same thing that they was getting away with back then. You understand? The things that he was saying, you know, the touchy-feely between two men and all that stuff like that, man. All that, he learned that from them dudes. When I told y'all the story, when me and my man went up to Russell Simmons and he had a house and he had a man in bikini drawers in his bedroom, in his bed. You understand? Bruh, this is that he learned. I'm assuming he learned it from them. Let me put that. And I'm not gonna say allegedly because I saw that for my own self. My man was with me, Slick was with me, and we saw that for our own self. You understand what I'm saying? So these are behaviors and things that with drugs and all the stuff that's going on, pills, drinking, it can make this man into a monster, and that's what it did, bro. It made him into a monster, bro.
Think About It was built his whole career on being the good guy, the lovable goofball, the family man. But if this bodyguard is telling the truth, we might be looking at a whole different side of, well, a side that's been hiding behind closed doors at Diddy's exclusive parties. And let's not forget about Jay. If Will was really getting up to no good at these parties, what does that mean for their marriage? We all know they've been open about their entanglement situation. But this could take things to a whole new level. But here's the thing, we got to take all this with a grain of salt. Sure, this bodyguard spilling some scalding hot tea. But where's the proof? Are we talking about photos, videos, or is it just his word against Wheels? Because in Hollywood, rumors fly faster than a jet, but without receipts they crash and burn just as quick. And let's be real for a second, even if we was partying it up at these white parties, does that really change who he is? I mean, we've all done things we're not proud of, right? Maybe Will was just blowing off some steam, living it up in a place where he thought he could let loose without the world watching. But if this tea is real, it could have some serious consequences. For Will's career, we're talking about a guy who's built his whole brand on being family-friendly. If it turns out he's been living a double life, it could shake the foundation of everything he's worked for. So, what do you think? Is this bodyguard telling the truth, or is he just trying to get his 15 minutes of fame? And if he is telling the truth, what does that mean for Will Smith's future in Hollywood?
I personally feel like he got a lot of the things that he did from his mentor, and then he probably did it to the 10th power. You understand? Russell Simmons admitted that he was a drug abuser. You understand? Russell Simmons admitted that he used to put his hands on women. So it's a learned behavior, bruh. Some of that stuff may be in him through his childhood. Through his childhood, he may have some of that things in him, but a lot of things that he was doing was a learned behavior, bro. You just don't just turn it in a matter of years the way he was doing people, man. You understand? Check this out, bro. He led Biggs to his death. He caused a rift between Wolf and BMF that led to Wolf death. Cussed Wolf mother out. Lied about owing him $300,000. Cause you had asked me how I feel, and I'm gonna get into how I feel. Took a good friend of ours who raised money when he had the City College tragedy. A good friend of ours did things to make him popular in Harlem. Let him hang with us, be part of our crew the whole 9 yards. Disrespected him and wouldn't help him. This is how I feel about him being locked up and going to jail. Some people, their karma is so strong for what they do and what they did. The stuff that he did to Craig Mack. You understand what I'm saying? The stuff that he did to Black Rob and all those people in the spiritual world right now. His karma was about to catch up and was bound to catch up with him. You understand what I'm saying? His karma was bound to catch up with him, brother. So all these things that's going on right now, the learned behavior, what he got from these people who was not living spiritually correct with their behaviors and the things that they've done. He go and transfer and do that to people with the fact of all these people that he's hurt, that always helped him and been on his side and been there for him. What's happening to him now is one of the greatest tragedies that we're gonna ever read about, bro. This is going to be one of the greatest tragedies that Shakespeare couldn't write in Richard. He couldn't write it in Macbeth. He couldn't write this shit in Romeo and Juliet. This is going to be one of the greatest tragedies of hip hop, along with Pac's death, along with Big's death. And he brought it on himself because he knew that he was wrong, and he knew that he learned something that wasn't right. He know different from right and wrong, bro. You have a way to change. You know when something is right and when something is wrong, and you know if you're wrong, you get help. He didn't choose none of that, bro. He chose to be who he is, and now he gonna learn. It ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun.
The tea has been served, and it's scorching hot. We've got Diddy's bodyguard spilling all the secrets about Will Smith's wild nights at those exclusive white parties. Can you believe it? Our Fresh Prince supposedly living it up like he's in Bad Boys instead of the pursuit of happiness. But here's the thing, is this bodyguard telling the truth, or is he just trying to get his moment in the spotlight? We've heard about Will's regular appearances, the crazy stuff going down behind closed doors, and behavior that would make Jada's red tabletop look like a kiddie show. But where's the proof? So what do you think? Is Will Smith's good guy image just an act? Or is this bodyguard trying to get his 15 minutes of fame the streets are talking? And we're all ears. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Hughes, this tea is far from over.